Welcome back to Moroccan Country Life. As mentioned in the last video, we shall be having a look at how to, we'll see what's wrong at least with our side light. Now interestingly enough, last night I picked up an addition to the Aircat. Well, have a look yourself. There she is, a little trailer. Look at that. Yes, okay, it's falling apart a bit, but can you say that's what 2,000 dirham buys you here in Morocco. In fact, actually, to find trailers is somewhat rather difficult. It's not a common sight here. It's exactly the same as having a roof box or roof bars on a car. It's not very common. So we picked it up late last night and discovered that the side lights on the back of the Aircat were not working. Yes, those with the old sharp eyes there will notice some bubbles and some rust coming through down the bottom of the tailgate. That needs to be addressed. But so yeah, picked this up very late last night. So no lights at the back other than indicators and brake lights, and no lights on the trailer itself. So further investigation needed. So this is the electrical plug-in device that I happen to have with the trailer. Now this trailer started its life out in Spain, so one would have hoped with the Renault also starting out its life in France that being European they should work together, because I know the electric connectors here in Morocco are quite different. So let's have a look what's on the other end of the Renault. So that's what we've got on the other end. Okay, let's try, see what happens. Let's marry them up. Okay, let's see how it goes. So there is no exact, I think they're going to be different. There doesn't appear to be any particular, yeah, I think these are going to be different, but let's have a go anyway. Yeah, these look completely different, but let's have a go and see what happens anyway. What's the worst that can happen? Oh, doesn't want to go that way. Now, that's possibly in that, actually. It can either go that way, or it can go completely 360 and that way, but that actually doesn't feel right. So I think we will probably right the first time. So if we try it back again, yeah, that felt like it went home. But the problem being is, I don't have any lights. I suppose I can always put the indicators on to see if they flash at the back. Let's give that a go. Right, let's try the indicators. Don't know if I'm going to need the ignition on or not. We shall soon discover. Nope, apparently I don't. Right. Indicator there, fantastic. Let's have a look around the back. Yep, indicator working there, fantastic. Do we have an indicator working on the trailer? Alas, we don't. It's on that side. But nothing that side. It may mean that I might have to buy a complete kit. Now, whether I'm able to buy one of those in Morocco, I don't know. And when I say kit, it will be the whole wiring system. Basically from the plug there all the way back, because it may not be the right plug. But anyway, let's carry on investigating and see what happens. Right, first of all, I think we're going to have a look at the fuses to see what the situation is with the fuses. And the location of the fuse box on a Renault 4 is right next to the driver, located here. under there, tucked up. Then now you might miss it because on it there's a little bit of a black casing, and it's quite dark, especially being all black interior in this particular vehicle. So we're going to check the fuses, because I know when the chap last night was trying to plug it in, I am absolutely sure I had lights, side lights. I knew one of the bulbs was out, but now all of them are out. So that would indicate to me that somehow or another he has blown a fuse. So let's have a little look, see what we can find. Now, the fuse hasn't quite gone. I don't know if you can quite see in there, but it's sparking. So it's, it will focus, I don't know. It's sparking there on that particular, where are you, your blighter? That fuse there doesn't seem to be in the best of health. So I've got a funny feeling that's going to be the culprit. So I'm going to change that, see what ampage it is for the side lights. So that's the fourth one in from the left, and see if that solves the problem with the side lights. So I'm going to get a spare one because I'm most probably going to blow that one when I try and plug in the trailer again. Yes, on careful inspection, I don't quite know if you can quite see that little hairline break in it, but that's definitely gone. So that needs to be replaced. Well, unfortunately, I don't have the right fuses. I've got every type of fuse you can think of, but yes, not the right one. I'm going to see if they will fit in, but I don't think they will. Anyway, let's give it a try. What can I lose? I was hoping I might be able to put it in, you know, because there is obviously a little bit of movement in there, but unfortunately, nah, not enough movement. So I'm going to have to go into town and pick up some fuses. Let's hope I can find some. A top tip in regards to fuses: always carry a spare set, especially in classic cars, because they have an awful habit of blowing quite a few of them. So yes, as said, I'm going to pop down and see if I can locate some fuses. Not quite sure where I'm going to find any, but I will keep you posted. So I managed to, as I say, get a few fuses. They are not the right ampage, but they'll have to do for now. I've managed to order some in UK, but they're not going to be here for, oh, who knows how long. So as said, they were the ones that I wanted, and there was the culprit there that was broken. So now I now actually have side lights, which is a bonus. Now, the interesting thing, as I said, once I plugged the trailer in, it seemed to blow the lights. There's part of the socket that's actually missing, so it's hard to marry the two up. I've now managed to repair this with a couple of nuts and bolts, which works very well, so I can actually remove this. We are still toiling with the idea or not whether we actually want to continue to use the trailer or not, because really, as I said, we only need it for local things like going to the tip, and it's a private road. I've now managed to repair this with a couple of nuts and bolts, which works very well, so I can actually remove this. We are still toiling with the idea or not whether we actually want to continue to use the trailer or not, because really, as I said, we only need it for local things like going to the tip, and it's a private road. Okay, right, let's take this on and have a little look. Just try not to round off the old rusty screw that's holding it on. Right, so it should be this one. Has it broken? That's the mystery question. Can't quite see it. No, it doesn't appear to be broken. So what we're going to do, let's get a bit of paper, give it just a quick clean, because it could be, just as I say, it could just be where it's contacting the connectors Might work, it might not. I don't even know if I've got one of those bulbs. Right, another top tip is to swap over a bulb that's working from the other side to see if that makes any difference, to make sure that it's not an electrical connection issue. So without further ado, I'm going to get the other bulb out of the other side. Now, that bulb I've just popped in to this side is also not working, and we do know that that bulb is fine. So we must presume that it is a connection issue, not a bulb issue. Again, if I reintroduce the bulb back into this side, in theory this bulb should work, he says. Yay! So therefore we have a little wiring issue which will need further investigation. No electrician by any stretch of the imagination, so some people are going to be going, oh God, what is he doing? Well, let's have a go. Can't be that difficult. Let's see if there's any power to the middle. And no, there doesn't appear to be. Now, I presume that earth is pretty good. Let's try at the edge. No. Blast. Now, it appears that someone's been at the electrics before me and done one of my, what I would call one of my bodge jobs. Have a look at this. Right, the wires here have literally just been somehow joined together. Wondering why the fuse was going. Perhaps it wasn't the trailer after all. So I've got to try and find out what is what and see if there is any power there, and perhaps put a couple of relatively decent connectors on there. At least better than just twisted bare wires, which will after a period of time lose contact and your light stops working. Okay, I've just put the indicator on to make sure there's power to that. I know there is, because one of the symptoms, I'm sure we've all experienced it, when a indicator bulb goes down. Yes, modern cars have a light to tell you, but the older cars that didn't have such a light, you could actually hear by the speed the indicator relay was clicking at. Now, if they were all fine on all sides, the speed would be the same, but normally when you indicated to the side that had a faulty bulb, you would hear it racing. It would be ticking a lot quicker. So I thought just to put it on to make sure that everything was working in terms of the indicator, I have pulled the wires around a little bit to see if disturbing them makes any better contact. And the way to find out is to reinsert, I'm not optimistic, but reinsert our side light bulb. Now, it hasn't made any difference. But wait a minute. That's strange, there's power there. Okay, right. There is power there. Oh, isn't that interesting? Maybe there's not sufficient power to turn on the bulb. Okay, what we will do, we will take out the bulb from the good side just to make sure. Again, always be cautious when removing bulbs that are on, because they can become quite hot. So let's try putting that in. Now, would you believe it? So there's power there, but it appears there isn't sufficient power to light up the bulb. So I'm going to have to try and get my multimeter out and see if I can get a reading of the output. Gosh, why couldn't it just be as simple as a dirty connection? Well, I think we're going to wrap it up today, otherwise it's going to be a marathon video. And we really still didn't find the problem with the sideline. All you auto electricians out there are going to be wetting yourselves, rolling around, saying, oh, why didn't he try that? Because I'm not an auto electrician. In my next video, I'm going to try and see if cleaning up the earth makes any difference. It's a bit of a long shot. I don't think it will make much of a difference, but you know, it's worth a try, isn't it? What started out as a simple bulb change stroke bulb clean has become a bit of a saga with the wiring. Yes, electrics, definitely not my favourite thing. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. If you have any tips, please let me know, they'd be most appreciated. But I would also really appreciate a thumbs up and a subscribe. Thank you again for watching. Bas salama.